Okay, so now we are having a presentation, and this presentation is by Giulia Benditti and Chiara Cattizzone from the University of Bologna. You will see also in the screen is Monica Palmirani. And the presentation is about digital platform and dashboard for supporting e-participation and monitoring hate speech. So I think Julie and Chiara are in Japan. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you are in Japan. What time is it now in Japan?
7 p.m.
Okay, no, not bad, not bad, not bad.
No,
So here we are with our ambassadors from Santa Coloma, from Italy, and from Germany. Okay, and they say hello to you, and also with the staff and our experts. So it has been quite intensive international camp so far. And now I'm giving you all the time so you can start with your presentation. Okay, is it fine?
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
So, hello everyone. We are so sorry that we cannot see you actually
In person.
but right now we will share our screen and we will start with this presentation. Okay. So then you can go to it, and I think that is super important. Okay.
Yeah, so thank you so much for the invitation. I'm sorry to not be in Barcelona, Santa Coloma, but we are very close to you in this experience. What Giulia and Chiara are approaching to present is a tool for improving e-participation and to favor the dialogue, especially in the public dialogue, in the political dialogue, in respect of the other thought and our opinions without attack, but expressing as much as possible arguments in a very civil way. And I leave the floor to Giulia now and Chiara.
Okay, so here we are. Okay, are our screens shared?
Can you see it?
Can you see it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So, as Professor Palmiani introduced you, this is our presentation about the participation activity related to FASTLISA project. So, what's the main objective? So, the creation of online portal based on WordPress, that is a well-known content management system designed to ensure the protection of personal data while fostering open public discussion led by public administration and about topics closely linked to everyday concerns of citizens. Actually, the point is that the public administration would like to point out some important topics and foster dialogue with citizens in the meanwhile provide a free and open and safe environment for these thoughts. So, what's going on? How the system is structured? As I said, on one hand, there is the public administration, you can see here, that propose a topic on a specific consultation, and it's looking for citizen engagement. All of this is happen on the portal of FASTLISA eParticipation platform that works as a hub, okay, for all the public administration that works as partner for FASTLISA. On the other hand, there are citizens that search and participate in a specific consultation, leaving comments that are stored in anonymous form thanks to the FASTLISA eParticipation platform, where it's stored on the University of Bologna databases. And those comments are in the meanwhile moderated by FASTLISA ambassadors that have to foster respectful dialogue. In meanwhile, try to engage on topics that are related on public administration specific topic engagement. So what's going on right now? We have our comments stored in our database, then there is analysis, so NLP analysis of the languages used, made by the AI algorithm that have to detect hate speech and cluster argument in order to then produce a dashboard of visualization that will be publicly published on the FASTLISA eParticipation platform for two main reasons. First of all, transparency, then interpretation for what regard public administration, and on the other hand, a knowledge for what regard citizen and in general public for what regard hate speech online. So, first of all, we will look at the platform. As I said, the FASTLISA eParticipation platforms work as a hub of participation activities. So you can see here it's possible to leave comments, but also you leave claim. It's possible to understand what's the FASTLISA project about. But on the other hand, we have also partner organization like Comune di Ravenna and Santa Coloma de Grammè. Here, in the FASTLISA participation platform, pages related to partner organization to our municipality are customized in respect of the specific municipality cultural expectation, specifically linguistic expectation. So as you see, Comune di Ravenna is expressed in Italian, Santa Coloma in Spanish. So what's going on the page related on public consultation? So I found my public consultation, something, a debate where I want to engage. And here I have this kind of interface where on, first of all, I can see what's the topic about, the proponent, that so the specific office of the municipality who propone the specific topic, a brief explanation of what they're important in relation of the municipality, then an extensive here explanation of what's about the topic and the participation rule that citizen should follow during the participation to that specific public consultation. Then at the end, it's possible to participate to a comment forum. What's important about this comment forum? It engage people thanks to filtering options, so it's possible to arrange comments chronologically or for which one, the one that have most like, most reaction, most reply, etc. etc. It prioritizes navigation, as I say, and it's possible not only to comment but also to reply to others in both form of like, dislike, or textual reply to other comments. Another important topic to explain to you is metadata about the public consultation. As you see on the right of each public consultation UI, user interface, is possible to find a consultation metadata. Consultation metadata are super important because are a kind of summary that makes people instantly understand which kind of interaction and which kind of topics are about. First of all, we have a status data that could be active or closed. Active means that you can participate to that specific consultation. Closed, actually, that the consultation is finished. Then we have topic details, such like who is the topic, how the problem should be should be addressed, and what is the main topic. Then we have time of consultation, so how much time is the time of starting of that consultation. So then we have the date of start and the date of end. So we know that maybe the public consultation will handle for 31 days at least. Then we have proponent details such like contact information, and then we have proponent link to actually recognize what's about the specific office. Then we have a schematic list of participation rules that are built in to ensure respectful and constructive engagement. I think that Professor Palmirani will talk more about this, but I will briefly explain that some important rules is like not sharing personal data or others' data. Again, not be offensive during comments or discriminatory, etc., etc. But who's the person, who are the people actually that have to be sure that none of these rules are broken, will be FASTLISA ambassadors. So FASTLISA ambassadors, thanks to provided credential, can access in the meanwhile that public consultation is gone, in WordPress dashboard. There, they can perform a series of actions like approve and approve a comment. When a comment is published, it is for engagement reason always approved. So it's up to you, up to FASTLISA ambassadors to check if they respect participation rules and if they can be approved or unapproved. WordPress, as it is, also block any spam comment to be published, and it is marked as spam. But sometimes could happen that the system doesn't recognize it. So FASTLISA ambassadors are the one that should recognize it and lock it when the system don't work. So other stuff that they can do, they can reply to comment to foster dialogue between people or to guide dialogue. So sometimes people are not talking about the main topic, but they go far away to some other topics. So you should be able to guide again the dialogue on the central topic. In this way, maybe it could be the best. So replying to them, then they can stick and edit. So maybe sometimes they share personal data, but the content is super good and we want to handle it. So maybe this is not a kind of real censorship, but you can edit it and maybe reply to the user saying, please don't share your data, etc., etc. You can also close a particular comment, so people cannot reply anymore to that comment, or mark it as spam. Then, what happens when a consultation is closed? When a consultation is closed, the status, of course, changes to close, from active to close. Then the comment form is deactivated. So as you can see here, people cannot participate anymore to the conversation. And buttons appear on the bottom of the argument explanation and on the top of metadata box. These two buttons have dashboard and report. Why? Because actually data that are produced during the conversation are downloaded and processed by the AI algorithm, and then restituted, as I said, on the same platform and accessed thanks to the dashboard link in an interactive dashboard. So now Chiara will explain to you how the AI algorithm work.
So, hi everybody. For developing the algorithm, we had three main phases, as you can see here from the slides. A preliminary analysis of legal documents and argumentation structures, a software development analysis, and the result elaboration. that is done by this software indeed. The focus was on creating a taxonomy with a legal, social, and linguistic basis, which could be equally valid for an international environment like the one of FASTLISA. And also we wanted to highlight the pragmatic aspect as we are working with argumentations in many different languages. The methodological pillars are here indeed the lexicon orientation to the legal domain in a way that it is legally valid for especially for decision makers, and also the situation of the hate speech, that is this pragmatic aspect I was telling you about. In this way, it is possible to have a better idea on how hate speech develops and its flow within human interactions on the internet. It is and we believe it is an important aspect to take into consideration when counteracting this kind of phenomenon. So in the preliminary studies, we have focused on some previous literature. The main basis for us was the Future of Free Speech taxonomy. That is the only legally valid taxonomy we found in the literary research. And a taxonomy is a way to classify in a hierarchical way a domain, let's say it, in a way that also machines can interpret and elaborate this data in an automatical way in order to help us humans. Going on the next slide, we have the main processes I undertook while doing this analysis. The first one is the raw documents analysis. That is some standard and a good practice step that we do in NLP in order to have data that is managed in a similar way independently from their sizes as we work with statistical tools. We follow indeed the open coding technique, making classes emerging from the material with a human in the loop analysis. This means machines were not the only ones that had an important task in these studies, but also humans that was me and Professor Palmirani, that we talk with each other in order to interpret at the best these results and make them more comprehensible. We use different text mining techniques that are the ones listed here. TF-IDF, that is some kind of technique that in simple word tells us which are the most important, not common, but important on a big sample of documents. The topic modeling that automatically gathers classes that are explicatory of the main arguments in the documents. Doc2Vec and Word2Vec that is useful to give a value to words, understand how similar, and documents understand how similar they are with one another, and word distances that works with Word2Vec and Doc2Vec. And this is the most technique part of this analysis. We used an open source software that is called NIME. That was really useful, can be used also by people that is not really prone to programming, and it gives you back interactive visualization that I was able to study in order to extract the classes. What we understood from these preliminary studies is that we have some protected characteristics that are very recurrent in legal documents from Germany, Spain, and Italy, and also the European Union and the UK, that were the two groups used for comparison, and some behaviors that we later decided to leave out. The main thematics were similar indeed also in the topic modeling for the English, German, and Italian and Spanish corpora. That means the set of documents that we studied. And the main finding we had is that racism and ethnic hatred usually have a lot of documents in common and are the two that happen that occur more often in all the countries. Going on, this is the final classification taxonomy and classification system we developed. We have a first level here that is hate speech, non-hate speech messages. In this step, the classificator will say if a message contains or not hate speech, and then it will distinguish the targets and the bias motivations. I'm sorry, it's in Italian, but we have elders, disabled people, different religious groups, LGBT and gender, that is targets related to homosexuality, transgender, and women, ethnic groups, peoples with an immigrant status, and race. Finally, for bias motivation, we have found the most commons in the documents and are racial and ethnic hatred, that, as I was saying before, we decided to put them together as it is not really clear the distinction between them for the classificator. Ideologies, genocide denial, that is a really grave act in the in many law systems in Europe, religious hatred, and homophobia and gender hatred. For the argument mining part, instead, we decided to go with less data. I scraped data from consultation by the European communities, as I needed to have a similar setting, and I'm going to explain you later why. And we used some basic text mining techniques as the ones used for the hate speech analysis. We also here made some standard pre-processing, reducing the number of topics, anonymizing the data in order to be ethical also in this step of our work, remove unnecessary words, and we sampled 500 comments for each language in order to have an equilibrated amount for each language. The techniques used here are n-gram extraction, that is the extractions of sequences of co-occurring words, and then I applied a measure to understand their frequency and their importance. At the end, also here, I developed an interactive visualization analysis. Additionally, in this step, we had to manually annotate supporting and contrary argumentations to the thematic proposed by the European Union. In this step, I had to reiterate the work many times, also using some AI tools in order to be sure that my annotation wasn't wrong. Some consideration on argument mining is that Italian and German non-expert users are the ones that mostly participate compared with with expert. Regulation and transport are two topics that have a lot of people wanting to discuss them. And also Spain was the country with the lowest participation rate. Final remarks, we have some argument analysis. The argument analysis was indeed a valuable tool for understanding how people express themselves in the setting similar to FASTLISA, that is this one of the consultation, and we based our work on the theory of Mochels and Moens, that is these argumentation schemes that are made of claims and premises. We kept it simple, as we saw that most of the time people, normal people, didn't write long comments to express their opinion. This is something that is more used in an environment in which there are organizations or businesses giving their opinion. And they also use their sorry. Okay. They use another remarks is that they use most of the times a negative language to express negative opinion and positive language to express positive opinion, but it's not a golden rule. So, for example, we were talking about using some classificator of the sentiment that is a simple classificator that says, yes, I am pro or con this thing, only this thematic only by seeing if the commenter had a more positive, how to say, a more positive
kind of speech.
Yeah, but
Okay.
it's not always that, because someone can like list a lot of negative and bad things and then say, yes, this is good given these motivations, and the classificator sometimes get confused. So what did we do? We developed a software that can do 5 different classification tasks. The first one is to detect a speech presence in compliance with our taxonomy, identify the target, the bias motivation, if a sentence or a part of a sentence that we call ADU is a claim or a present or a premise, given the schema I told you about Mochels and Moen, and the support and control relationship identification, that is the part in which we decided to not use the sentiment analysis but go with other strategies. So for the classificator selection, I tested different. I didn't start from scratch building a model because it's something that requires a lot of time, and good models are already available. Given by the scientific community. We used a model based on BERT, and for the hate speech classification, it was good like that. We had to do fine-tuning, that means giving to the algorithm some examples to train it on the target, bias motivation, claims and premises. The steps here of the software in the code are the hate speech detection to create the pie chart. That this are all the visualization listed here. We will explain them to you better later.
Yeah, they will be then presented in the interactive dashboard published on the FASTLISA platform.
Exactly. Detect the hate speech targets, the hate speech bias motivation, the argument units, as I said before, the support and or contradiction relationship between the argument units, and also we needed to print some log data on the duration time, and the kind of interaction in the period of the discussion. Once the machine has crunched all the data, it produces a JSON format file that is this kind of file in which we have the name of the visualization and the data. This file then goes on the WordPress platform.
Yeah, it is uploaded thanks to the WordPress dashboard of FASTLISA eParticipation platform that can be accessed to specific operators
Exactly.
that have this task.
And so these results can be seen. Obviously, this is these are the first times we're using the classificator, so it might be necessary to perform some more fine-tuning also on the data that we have to improve the classificator, as the languages we're dealing with, especially Spanish and Italian, are low resources languages in the field of natural language processing, and this kind of work would also be a great help for the domain in order to enrich this kind of languages and not having only English, that is the only language in which people tend to work, as it is the international one.
Yeah, also because imagine that a lot of social network where this kind of sample to which people are researching on are kind of Twitter, that is mostly speech in English,
Yeah.
or Meta kind of social network. So that's also the valuable point about FASTLISA project.
Yeah, to gather data that it's not only English.
Okay. So I think that right now we will present to you the interactive dashboard. So there is something to say that the interactive dashboard is structured in order to present data as the FASTLISA taxonomy want to. So we know that it's 4 layers kind of it's a 4 layers kind of taxonomy, where we have one layer about the hate speech, the speech presence,
3 layers, sorry.
3 layers, sorry, yeah. The bias, actually,
and the target.
so the purpose, the target, and the pragmatic
layer. This is the jolly that is a bit detached, because we don't only take the hate speech in this kind of visualization, but it's very important in it.
Exactly, because actually we don't want only to work on detection of hate speech, but also on trying to describe as much as possible that kind of hate speech use.
Yeah, and it could also be useful to have a better understanding of
Dynamics
counteracting measures, like effective strategies to counteract it on the online environment.
So what's going on? First of all, user that will use this dashboard, as I said, will access it from the specific topic public discussion that at this point is closed, but it could even share with a friend, okay, or with someone else, because maybe it could be found it interesting. So first of all, context is one of the main point to be displayed. So how to display context? First of all, of course, the name of the topic, date of publishing, and proponent. Then we have a brief, really brief explanation of what's the topic about. And then we present the amount of comments, the days of, actually this one is a real dashboard produced during the training of the 14th of July, if I remember well. And so it was 1 day kind of training. So actually we did it, was having a low amount of data. So then we have a 26 participant and engagement rate. Engagement rate actually is a measure that say for how much people, how much comments published, how much people gives like or replies, so how much interaction it was. We know that this one was a training, so of course 26 participants, all of them was engaging.
Yeah, for having three, like in this case we had the engagement rate calculated on the comments, as we could distinguish how many comments a single participant did. Otherwise, we would go over the 100% and it would be wrong. So we use the responses and that are also the main focus of our experiment in order to get...
Julia, can you hear me? Julia and Chiara?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, because we are running a little bit of time. So
Okay.
yeah, we have 5 minutes, and we will have also, if there is any question that the audience and the ambassadors, or maybe the experts, or Jan wants to make. Do you have a question? Yeah.
Okay. Do you have some question?
Yeah, hello, here's Jan. Thank you very much for your beautiful presentation. My question is, how much of this are you planning to publish scientifically, and also how much your taxonomy is including international law situations, or is it just Italian focused?
This one was Italian focused, but like we're doing the training also for Spanish at the moment, as we should have some dates. And yeah.
For what regard the scientific publishing you're asking about?
Just in general, if you're planning to scientific publish this in research conferences, or so Monica has a...
Yes, I can answer for the group. Yes, we have in the plan 2 papers at least, probably also another one. And we have 2 occasions. One is a collection of papers called ICOL, that is a collection for Springer. And the second one is UREX, that the deadline is coming soon. But concerning the taxonomy, let me specify that the preliminary input for training the natural language processing come from the case law. So case law coming from Spain, coming from Italy, coming from Germany, and the high courts of European for human rights. So the language adopted is very oriented to the legal domain and the legal categories and mixed with the common language. So the innovation of this taxonomy is it is not a sentiment analysis in a classic way based on a vocabulary or linguistic resources available in the common language, but is integrated the data set with the case law specifically selected by legal expert, and these case law talking about specifically the crimes connected with hate speech. So the goal was to cross the legal knowledge with the common language in order to have a shadows of graduation in the sentiment analysis in the light of legal studies, and especially the classification of the crimes under different perspective according with the national law of domestic in each country.
Thank you so much, Monica, for your answer. Is there any other question? Any questions? No questions so far? Okay, so thank you so much, Julia and Chiara and Monica, to be here with us. So thank you, and have a nice trip in Japan. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye, bye-bye.
Thank you to all. Thank you, and good work for the days that I know they are very intensive and dense of content. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.